Hello. I will just make a small demonstration of a PHP script that you want to have running all the time, but not as a cron job on your server. Um, there's many advantages and disadvantages by that. One of the advantages is that you don't have to interact with your server. You don't have to integrate your script with your server the way you do when you run cron jobs. The disadvantages is that it runs like a normal script and you have to do a loop, an indefinite loop, which can build up a lot of memory usage. So I will recommend that you start and stop the PHP script a few times per day just to clear the memory. So you have to integrate a start and stop routine in your script. I will go through the script line by line just to show you how it works. It's not an optimal solution, but it's a solution you can use if you want to do something fast and fix something in a short period of time, let's say 1 month or 2 months or 3 weeks, until you have made a right solution. First of all, of course, you have your PHP statement and you have your login to your server. Then I use the ini_set to display errors if there is any errors. This is a built-in functionality in PHP, Apache server. And I make an indefinite loop. I run on while 1 equals 1. The next thing is I use a built-in statement, which is called ob_start. And what it does is that the output view, and in this case it can be the server screen, it can be your browser screen, it can be whatever, because the benefits of making a PHP indefinite loop script is that you can run it from everywhere. It doesn't have to run from your server as a cron job. You can run it from home, you can monitor it everywhere. You don't have to log into the server, blah, 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 and all these things. You can run it from everywhere if you have the proper access to the database and to the server. The next thing is that I would like to know what's going on. So every run, I generate a text file which is empty. There's nothing in it. And it has the file name year, month, date, hour, minutes and seconds. And it's called .txt. And I simply open it for write and I echo to my output. And in this case it can be a browser window, which is initiated by ob_start, so I can see what's going on. But there's already a problem here. If the script is very heavy, and in this case it is very heavy, it's not really updating the output screen. So there's already one problem. Then I select the data I'm going to manipulate with, and if I have some data I want to manipulate with, I go further. So I start a new loop here where I read my data, as you know, and inside this loop I make another select query. You have to understand those select queries on MySQL are of course effective, but on the other hand they are also very heavy. So you have to in a way choose between what you want to achieve, and if what you want to achieve is beneficial enough to take so many resources. If I have any records I have to process in this query, I open another loop where I do another query, which is a filter query on gender, actually, if it's a female or male. And I open another loop where I run through the next table. And as you can see, we are already heavy into SQL. And this is taking a lot of resources. Of course, it goes much faster if you have to run through all records, but it takes a lot of resources. So I run through my next loop, and again I do another query where I insert some values into a table. If it goes wrong, I do nothing. I just always do if it goes well, it goes well. If else, nothing. Because I'm not in these cases here where it's ad hoc script, I'm not really interested in the errors. The next thing is I execute another query where I lock what I just did. And again, you can see I have a if else, and if this query goes wrong, I don't really care, to be honest. It's not very interesting for me. If I didn't have any records to process, I don't do nothing. But now the interesting thing, how to stop a PHP script like this? Well, what I have done, because of course this code section here can take long time. If there's, let's say, 500,000 records that has to be processed, it can take a very long time. So, but on the other hand, I don't want to break it in the middle by stopping the browser or something like that. I want it to finish. Because if I don't let it finish, I have unpredictable results. Yeah. So what I do is that I copy an empty text file into the folder where this PHP script is running, that I simply call stop.txt. And after each run through, the PHP script check if this file exists. If this file exists, I simply break. And I break out of the loop and the PHP script stops. If this file does not exist, I wait 5 seconds with a sleep command, which is also very heavy. I delete this file, which shows me when the cycle started up here. So I can see that there's a process, so I simply delete it with unlink, and then I clean the screen for next echo. But I have to tell you one thing, this op_end_clean and op_start are not very reliable when you run very heavy scripts. You have to have a very powerful computer, you have to have a very powerful browser, and my experience is that it's not very effective. I have it here because sometimes if you run it directly on the server, of course it's a different story, but if you run it from home just to clean up something or anything like that, then if it's a heavy loop, it doesn't really, it's not very effective. The funny thing is that when it hits this break, all the echoes comes out. So they are in a way stored in the graphical memory of the computer, and when the PHP script stops, then everything is echoed out. But it depends of your environment, it depends of many things. But I use this very often for cleaning up, because when you start a new project, of course, it's full of errors. It's full of indexes. There's no indexes. You're missing indexes. Some indexes should have been unique. They are not unique. You have to remove data. You have to add data and stuff like that. So in this case, I'm using this a lot. I don't want a cron job. I just want to run a PHP script indefinitely, maybe for 2 nights, let's say 2 nights, and I don't have to monitor it. So in this case, this is very useful. I hope this will help you to get some inspiration. Don't. I'm not saying this is perfect. I'm not saying this is a good solution. I'm just saying that for me, it has been very useful. So thank you very much.